Hi, grade 11. Welcome back at Unit 2, North Star, the Achilles heel. Okay, today we're gonna go over listening to. All right, listening to. So let's go there. You can flip your pages to page 34. Voila, here we are. Listening to the Achilles Track Club climbs a Mount Kilimanjaro. That's a very interesting name. Okay, first off, we're going to start with the vocabulary. You will hear a news report about a group of athletes who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and the athletes belong to the Achilles Track Club, an organization of athletes with physical disabilities such as blindness, deafness, or the loss of an arm. And then you would say, why would these people go climb? Exactly, right? Amazing. That's what makes it interesting. Read the flyer about Mount Kilimanjaro. Match the underlined items with a synonym. Okay, since this is vocabulary, we're going over no small task, buckled down, get going, overcoming great odds, and inspirational. So, looking at this, we are going to match it. Right? So you're going to see which synonym is the correct one to use. Okay. Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Tanzania at 19,340 feet, 5,895 meters. So climbing this mountain is no small talk, no small task. Take great care as you ascend. Climate is extreme, with tropical weather at the base and strong winds closer to the peak. The athletes who have made it to the top said they buckled down before the climb, training for hours each day. Are you in good physical condition? Ayo. Are you ready for this challenge? The common expression, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, represents the kind of determination you will need to succeed. Past teams have made it, but sometimes by overcoming great odds. Take a look at the guest book they signed after they returned from the summit. Their inspirational stories will help you keep going. Great. So underlined words in this case right now, not bold-faced, but underlined, which is the vocabulary for this part of the unit, listening to and connected with a synonym, a word or phrase or a definition. Go ahead. You can pause your video. That brings us to the comprehension. You're going to listen to the report and answer the questions, and then we'll see in our next meeting how you did. Okay, so before you do that, I'd like you to annotate every question. So underline or circle or highlight the keywords in every question. Go ahead. Great. Let's listen, take notes, and then answer the questions.
They climbed one of the world's tallest mountains, a group of disabled climbers from the New York area. It's a story of reaching new heights and overcoming great odds. Monica Pellegrini introduces us to those inspirational athletes.
I thought a few times going up that I wouldn't make it. I almost turned back around twice.
Mount Kilimanjaro in the northern part of the African nation of Tanzania. Scaling it is no small task for your average climber, but for a group of 7 from New York's Achilles Track Club, it was a much greater challenge. They are all disabled in some way. 5 are blind. 1 is deaf and asthmatic. The other a cancer survivor and amputee.
It was a lot more difficult than I had expected. It's a difficult climb, and The altitude really did affect a lot of us, but we persevered, and the majority of the athletes were able to make it.
The accomplishment makes the group the largest of disabled athletes to ever climb Mount Kilimanjaro, an expedition they call a testament to the human spirit and a chance to empower themselves and others.
I just wanted to reach deep down and grab all the energy I had and keep on going, because behind accomplishing this physical challenge for myself, I knew there was a greater message we were all carrying.
The group kept a diary of their travels online, and even when the going got tough, they buckled down, turning to each other for inspiration as they continued on the trail to the peak.
I heard it was going to be hard. I just didn't imagine it was going to be so tough.
Tough, yes, but an experience that will not be forgotten anytime soon.
I mean, you're experiencing just wide open space, wind and sunshine, the strength of the sun like you've never felt before.
The adventure began on August 28th and ended this past Sunday when the group, along with their 18 volunteer guides from the Achilles Track Club, reached the summit.
Getting to the top was definitely the high point.
Monica Pellegrini, UPN 9 News.
Okay. You can pause your video right now to answer the questions. Go ahead. Listening skill, distinguishing major ideas from supporting examples. Okay, very important. In another video, I already emphasized on the difference between a general main idea and a sub-main idea. And I stated that the general main idea of a text is always found in the thesis statement, which is in the introductory paragraph. The general main idea is reflected in the title of a text and definitely in the thesis statement. That's why I said thesis statement equals general main idea equals general topic and purpose. The sub-main idea is a bit smaller, is a bit more specific, and the sub-main idea can be reflected through a header or a subheading. Not every text has a header, but if there is a text with it, then it does reflect it. Sub-main idea is also always found in the topic sentence, which is the first sentence of every body paragraph. Now, what we're looking at here is knowing the difference. Distinguishing means seeing the difference between, in this case, between a major idea, main idea, and supporting examples. So you have the main idea, that is like the general point or the general idea. Either if it's a general main idea, it's the general idea of the whole text. If it's a sub-main idea, it's the general idea of one body paragraph only, since every body paragraph talks about one specific subtopic. Now, in every body paragraph, besides the sub-main idea, which is in the topic sentence, we have several main points. And every main point in the text is developed by the details. Now, these details can be facts. The details can be also names of people, places, things, numbers, years, percentages, anything that helps develop it. And also can be very clear examples that actually help support the development of the main points and the main idea. So basically the main points or the development are the ones that develop the main idea, and the details are the points that develop the main points. Now we are looking at how can I see and differentiate or distinguish what a major idea is and what actually just a supporting detail is, an example or a fact or a point or whatsoever. Let's read it together. Reports often include examples to explain or support a previously mentioned point. It's important for a listener to know when a piece of information is being used to explain a previously mentioned idea and when it is a major idea itself. So either it's referring to something that has been explained already and something that is a major idea on its own. If you hear several different examples that all support a single idea, then that idea is an important one that you should pay attention to. The individual examples are only important in helping you understand that major idea. Sometimes the major idea is even unstated and must be inferred from the examples. It's not always that clear. Now, what we're going to do is now, first off, to understand, we're going to read and listen to the example. Let's do that.
They are all disabled in some way. 5 are blind. 1 is deaf and asthmatic. The other a cancer survivor and amputee.
Okay, amputee means either an arm or a leg is amputated. Yeah, so they're missing a body part. Which is a major idea? 5 of the climbers were blind. 1 of the climbers was an amputee, or all of the climbers were disabled in some way. Now, if you look at all 3, which one is the main idea? Definitely C. Why? Because A is specified to one kind, blind. B also one kind, the one that has an amputee. But if we're looking at C, it is talking about the climbers in general, that they in general were all disabled. So the word disabled is the bigger category. Blind and amputee are specific. Those are details. But if you're looking at the word disabled, that is a more general category. So when you're looking at a main idea, a sub-main idea, you're looking at a broader category. Main point is a little bit smaller, but still broader than a detail. Details are the specifically mentioned categories. So yeah, answer C. The other sentences are all supporting examples of the major idea. Basically, A and B help support and develop C. Oh, yeah. The speaker could have added one more or one less example without changing the meaning of that idea. Even if the major idea had not been stated first, the listener could infer it from the examples given, knowing that they are all disabled. If you would have said, like, some were blind, some amputees, some were deaf, for example, then we could know that they were all disabled. Yeah? Awesome. Okay, we're going to listen to the excerpt, and I want you to circle the correct answer. In the first excerpt, when you're listening, I would like you to know or to pick which one is the major idea. Is it A, is it B, or is it C? Now, take one moment to annotate the keywords. Go ahead. Okay, let's go.
It was a lot more difficult than I had expected. It's a difficult climb, and the altitude really did affect a lot of us, but we persevered, and the majority of the athletes were able to make it.
Okay, try to answer excerpt 1. Awesome. Now we're going to do excerpt 2. What major idea can be inferred from the examples? Okay, annotate the keywords first. And let's go.
I just wanted to reach deep down and grab all the energy I had and keep on going, because behind accomplishing this physical challenge for myself, I knew there was a greater message we were all carrying.
Awesome. Okay, try to answer excerpt 2. Yeah, what major idea can be inferred from the examples? Okay, great. That brings us to the last part of listening to, which is connecting the listening, and we are going into synthesizing. So the first step is organizing. So we're going to look at the information from the audio from the first listening 1, which was Carol Saylor. And we're going to look at the audio of listening 2, which is the Achilles Track Club, and see how both information can be connected. And then mostly for the second step, which is synthesizing, then mostly we're doing something in which information of both listening sections is going to be used and to be created into one work. And in this case, that is an interview, a role play role-playing a reporter interviewing Carol Saylor and a member of the Achilles Track Club, but we cannot do that today. So we're going to focus on step 1, organizing. So I want you to complete the Venn diagram with information about Carol Saylor and members of the Achilles Track Club. Inside the circle, I want you to list the challenges, goals and hopes, personal qualities. So it's this. And in the middle intersection of the circles, this one, I want you to list ways the stories overlap. So here it overlaps, right? 2 circles are overlapping. So here you write down what ways were there that both stories were overlapping. Now, one example is given. Both describe physical disabilities. Now, these are then the differences, and these are the similarities, exactly. Now here, left and right, you focus on challenges, goals and hopes, and personal qualities. You can pause your video to do that. Go ahead. Great. Yeah. Then that would leave us with step 2, synthesizing. I just want to say to you that remember that this step is very important, as step 1 is organizing, is actually just taking information from both listening sections and connecting them. Basically, in step 2, synthesizing, we create something new out of the information. So basically, in step 1, organizing, we're trying to get the information from several sources. And once we have that information, in step 2, synthesizing, we create something new with that information. Okay, that's really cool. So that brings us to the end of today's listening section, listening 2. And I'd like to review that real quick with you. Yeah. The first thing we did was our vocabulary. Yeah, you looked at the underlined words and phrases and connected them with the synonyms that would resemble or represent the meaning. Then we did a comprehension. We listened to a report. Yeah, and tried to answer the questions. But before you did that, you annotated. You did keywording. Then we talked about, as a listening skill, we talked about distinguishing, differentiating, understanding the difference between major ideas and supporting examples. And I explained to you that general main idea is found in the thesis statement, which is an introductory paragraph. So thesis statement equals general main idea equals general topic and purpose, and the sub-main idea can be found in every topic sentence, which is the first sentence of every body paragraph. Topic sentence equals sub-main idea equals subtopic and purpose. Awesome. And so main idea is broad, and the main idea is developed by main points. Yeah, main points develop the sub-main idea, and then the details we use to develop the main point, basically like that. So knowing the difference between a main idea, main point, and details is important. Now, details can be just facts, any specific points, but also that includes examples. Awesome. And then we connected the ideas of both listening sections. That brings us to the end of the video. You did a great job. Thank you for trying so hard, and we will see each other soon in another video. Keep being excited. God bless you. Bye-bye.